Greetings, this is Dwa, and today we're going to talk about a quick subject. So, I actually wanted to talk about it for a while now, and it's something that came to me as sort of a shock. So, here's the story. It's near the end of the semester, it's actually a few weeks ago. I was doing research for an assignment, and I found a very interesting book. It wasn't very interesting for my research, and I quickly put it away, but it contained interesting claims, and I want to dig deeper and discuss a bit about it and leave you thinking because I think it's going to shock you as well. Or if it doesn't shock you, you're going to find it interesting. So the book is Computational Thinking by Peter J. Denning and Matti Tedre. So that book has 266 pages. It's very complete. It talks about about thinking about computers. And one of its final chapters, last chapters, is called Future Computation. And in that chapter, the subject is the future, but not just the future of programming or computers or stuff like that, but like the very concept of computationing and computer science and how it will eventually spread out and not necessarily be something solely for the programmer, but not in the way you think. Like, I know you're going to tell me, oh yeah, I've heard all about uh, people using Python that are not programmers nowadays, and they use it for all sorts of stuff. No, I'm not talking about Python scripts that non-programmers are going to use. So this, I know, is going to be more and more spread out. Non initiates are going to use Python for. No, I'm not going to. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the field diversifying because now there's mobile development, there's web development, and there's more and more AI and everything. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the future of programming. I'm talking about the futures of programmings, like several types of computer programmings. I know, crazy, right? So I'm going to read a bit. It says traditional programming is losing its role as the primary interface to computations. Instead, domain specific and intelligent tools are enabling more and more users to harness the potential of computers without programming them. CT expands well beyond programming and software development. And it goes on to say later, quantum computers, neural networks, reversible computers, DNA computers, memory store computers, and a few others are prime candidates. Okay, so now let's stop a bit, okay? DNA computers, quantum computers. So that one I've heard about, qubits and all of that stuff. Neural networks we're also, it's basically AI. It's a new way of approaching AI. It's the intelligent way. It's already there. Then there's reversible computers. Okay, so what are all of these things? I'll be honest, I don't know. And I do some research on it. I promise. And I will be back to you with that. But let's think for a second. Okay, so DNA computer, they talk about that, they talk a bit about CRISPR, which is a technique to edit genes, and they're using it for, like, okay, so there's going to be a computational model based on that, or at least that's what I understood. So that's a really interesting approach, and they say a biologist will find it easier to approach this sort of computational model than a traditional programmer. And the same thing for quantum computing. They say about this. Most computer scientists, on being shown how to set up the D-Wave machine, the D-Wave machine being a quantum computer, for the first time, experience a mind tilt. The process is nothing like the programming process they have known all their professional lives. So they say trained physicists have much less trouble understanding the machine. Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. I look forward to it, and I've heard a bit about D Wave. I know it's, if I remember correctly, it's one of the first quantum computers available commercially, if I'm not wrong. Um, so there's now much more powerful computers, quantum computers, from the same company. They pretty much have the monopoly on quantum computers. I'm going to probably did in the company who does them. I did some research beforehand, but I don't remember the name. So yeah, that was it. Very interesting book. I recommend to read all of this. It shocked me. It shocked me. It's super interesting. So anyways, see ya.